Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? I am the Hurricane Mike Herren, and welcome to another edition of BadCatz Sportscast. If you've been watching us, like a lot of people have been, you know Monday is a huge show. It is NFL Week 12 in review. We talk about the games. We talk about the things that make us scratch our head. We talk about the things that make us go, We talk about our predictions from the following week before. We got a lot to talk about today. College football rivalry week in the NFL and a smorgasbord of other stuff that we have. But to the left of me, we have my man Birdie. Birdie, what is going down, brother? Love, how are you?
Pretty good.
I like the Louisiana.
Are you rocking the Louisville kind of in honor of Rick Pitino or Bobby Petrino?
Or Lamar Jackson?
How about
Lamar Jackson?
Who got his number retired?
0 for 2 and 0 for 3.
Who is it?
Oh,
Well, I told you, Mike. My niece is a doctor down in Louisville. Yes,
Kevin Ware, maybe?
No.
Remember
My niece, who grew up in the projects of Fall River and has become a doctor, and she teaches at the University of Louisville. So this was sent up to me. I visited down there in a beautiful campus, and that's why I got the Louisville.
is she single, Birdie?
Well, she is now. She got divorced. So,
Really?
yeah. Yep.
Any of your friends trying to hit on your doctor niece?
No, because
They
she's
know
living
better?
in Kentucky, so she's not around here, thankfully.
And your mother, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was quiet.
Cool.
Yeah, my
Cooked,
sister come over, cooked, ate.
Yeah.
Real nice and quiet.
The
Real
ex-
low key.
Now, does your mother send your sister's ex-husband a plate home?
I don't know if that happened or not, to be honest with you.
No?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure about
Because
that.
a lot of the guys that are around the outside, the mother will traditionally
no, usually you're right.
give a plate to Billy,
That's
give him a
correct.
plate.
Send it over there.
We
Yeah,
don't know if
you're
he's
right.
eating.
You're right.
Give him a plate,
Yeah,
give him a plate.
Yeah. Oh,
I had a few people drop off plates today.
that's good. That's good.
Riley, my brother, what's good? What's going on?
Nothing much. Great day for me today. So
Smile on
great
your
day for
face.
you
when
today?
you
Wow.
walk
Yeah,
in
so
here.
2 reasons. Well, it's the Monday after the Broncos won, and
Yeah,
a big
that's right.
game against one of the teams I hate the most. So
Yeah.
that's great. And then also, Lionel Messi cemented his status as the greatest player to ever touch a soccer
Oh,
ball
boy.
by winning his 7th Ballon d'Or, breaking his previous record of 6. So to me, it's not even a question
What's
anymore.
the Ballon d'Or? It is very much a question.
So,
Go ahead.
to the Ballon d'Or, to put it in perspective, is the MVP award pretty much. It's given to the best player over the last year that they've played. So they don't do it over season; it's
But how
over
do
a
they give
full
it
year.
to? But how do they give
So
it to
it's
Messi?
based off of journalists that vote onto it, and this is like the most prestigious award you can win. This is the 65th year that they've had it.
I know,
and this
I know
is,
about it, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just explaining. So
yeah.
this is the most prestigious award. This is the 7th time he's won.
Wow.
He's won it 4 times in a row, and no one's ever done that. He has the largest span between first win and last
Yeah.
win. And he broke his own record. He done that twice. He had the 2 largest spans between first and last one. And the person closest to him with the most is 5. He broke the record to get the 6, and then broke the record to get the 7.
Number 5
this
is
year.
Ronaldo.
Yes, Ronaldo's 5, and he's not going to catch him. It's over. There's no chance.
What's the age?
And now is Messi
Age factor?
Is
How
Messi
old-
going to
how
catch
old-
my boy Ronaldo in international goals? Is he going to
That
catch
is
him? Here?
that is close because he's 2 years
He's
younger,
younger, yeah.
and he's
really?
getting he's 2 years younger. He's getting there. He's already gonna. I think he's the most goals in South America or Copa. Wherever they play, you know how it's like Europe and then they play in like the Americas. He has the most goals out of anybody there, even more than Pele, Maradona, more than all those guys. So he probably won't, but not in international goals. But
And let me get this straight. This criticism. We talk soccer on the show. And if you don't like it, fuck it. Shut it off. Because we're going to talk soccer. Because where I'm from, soccer is important.
Well,
More important than you could ever get it.
I listen to
You feel
EEI
me?
a lot. I don't
if
hear
you
no
like
soccer
it,
on there.
If you want to listen to fat old white men talk about the same shit every fucking day and be miserable, then go there. If you want to talk about an eclectic, broader perspective in sports, you come see the bad boys. The BadCatz will take care of you.
so yeah,
Some people want us to. I had by the way, right? I talked to this place called Cumulus Media Group.
Okay.
And they're very interested in our programming.
Really?
Remember I told you about my boy Scott Bernstein? I haven't told any. Lisa knows. But
Mentioned briefly a long
about
while
that
back.
crime writer, sports writer that I've known for a long time.
Yep.
The white boy Rick story,
Yep.
the BMF story. He's produced, and they like they like some of the program. And I lost my train of thought. What was I
No,
building
you were
up
talking
to?
about something with this guy Bernstein, something about you watching the program and
that Cumulus media, and they saw some of the shows and they loved them. And he said you got some great feedback on some of the shows too, by some pretty decent critics out there too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
My man, our good friend Peter down in Alabama said he viewed for the first time the Deontay Wilder video. I was trying to tell him, Peter's not very technically savvy. So I was trying to tell him how to get onto YouTube. And he finally must have got on there this morning because he called me up at 10 o'clock and he said, Birdie, I saw the Deontay Wilder thing you guys did. He goes, you guys did an incredible job on that. He goes, tell Michael I wanted to thank you guys for putting that out there. So.
Deontay, I'm not done with you. Okay? let this be known. I am not done with you, Deontay Wilder. If you want to get back what is yours, okay, get rid of the idiots that you got around you now. Go back to basics when you were a champion. Remember the guys that you came with going up the hill.
Yeah.
When you didn't have the bitches and you didn't have the bags of cash, you didn't have none of that. Okay,
they forget real quick.
Remember what it took to get you there, and make sure the next time you fight a big fight that Peter Corey, okay, and Mark Breland are in your camp from day one to fight night.
Yeah.
And then maybe, just maybe, you'll get that greatness back because the Gypsy King is running around Europe talking all kinds of shit. Because he kicked your ass. He didn't beat you 2 times. He beat you 3 times.
Yeah, they got
3 times. So it's time to get back. Time to get back on board, Deontay. Peter Corey.
They got a
strength and conditioning and fitness coach. You will not gas out in the 8th round ever again if you go back to the camel. We call him the camel. Okay. Get the camel. That's it.
I guess
that's a wrap. Listen to the Hurricane, please.
Twitter feud. They're having a social media Twitter feud between Fury and Wilder. But Wilder, I don't think he's going to get another shot anytime soon. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Tyson Fury uses mine. He told me he's going to come to Vegas and kidnap Jake Paul's girl and do ungodly sexual acts to her, Birdie.
You got to be careful. He doesn't stop crossing the line. You don't want to cross the line.
Oh, that gypsy don't care about crossing.
No, I know that. But
have you ever met a gypsy that did?
I don't know many gypsies, but I know that guys are pretty lunatic might be the word. So
what happened to our fantasy this week?
Okay.
You were telling me to call Riley. You don't have Riley's number yet?
No, I didn't have Riley's number. So I told you several times, get a hold of Riley. We didn't. So we took the Thanksgiving week off.
I thought I might have messaged him. Did I message you, Riley, to tell you call Birdie?
No.
Wow, really? I dropped the ball.
I mentioned it to him to put it in there anyway. But it was Thanksgiving. It's no big deal. It was only 1 week. We'll get back on it this week. So you got like five more weeks before the end of the year.
Riley, counting down the hours to the semester. Like I said, college. Hey, right? Easy peasy, right? Breezy.
Flying by.
Tell you, it's going to be done. It's like everybody, all this crazy hype.
What do you got planned for your time off, Riley? Anything?
Probably just relax and just take some time.
Let your brain
decompress. Just relax. I'm definitely gonna do some work. They're probably gonna because the kids are gonna be out too.
Yeah, you know.
And not this week, but I think the week after maybe or whatever. They're out soon. So my job is gonna be like a full week. They're gonna be there from like 10 to like 4. So they're probably gonna ask me to do that week for 10 to 4. So I'll do that. But other than that, just try to relax and enjoy the little time I get to have off.
Yep.
Well, Rob Leonardo's FBI Most Wanted report has come to we've got a hit.
Witness Protection Program?
No, not the Witness Protection Program. He has apparently been kidnapped by these rock and roll gypsies in Portugal, and he is not expected to return till after January 1st. So we have a huge question in front of us again, right? Can we pull a remote off? And I think that we can.
Okay.
Are you concerned about that at all, Rowdy Riley? Are you concerned about all pulling it off? Now, it's going to be dumbed down, right?
It'd be tough. I'd have to call him up and try to talk to him because I haven't seen anything that he's done for that, but it could be done.
I think your father being a DJ when you were in your mother's womb, I think it all
carries over,
metamorphosized into his brain waves. Because let me tell you something: the best success we've had with these ball-ups have been DJs, ex-DJs. Mm-hmm. You want to know why? they're used to getting on.
Familiar with that equipment, I guess.
Yeah, well, no, we have a little more advanced stuff, but I mean, we're ready. We're gonna have to be. Birdie, what's going on, man? Me and you like Pawtucket so much. Say we drove in and out of it 5 times.
It was a little bit of safari. Thankfully, it wasn't after hours or after dark, because it could have been a little different scenario.
Can you imagine if we would have done that at 4 o'clock? We would have been home.
Oh no, we'd still be in traffic. Maybe it's.
Hey, listen. Oh my God.
The time frame was the right
if
frame.
I could only tell you what I walked into, I was looking around saying, is this a fucking trap I got going on here? I got this beautiful woman, right? Dark and mocha, right?
Yep.
Dressed like she's going to a fashion show.
Yep.
Walking around cocked with a bottle of wine.
With a wine glass in front of her.
And
Right?
it's just, and I'm on a sales call with her in an obscure mill, which the FBI would have a hard time figuring out where I was. Because how many green doors?
I don't know. That was like a jigsaw puzzle.
Listen, me and you have been around the block a little bit.
Bit.
Was that a motherfucker trying to find that place or what?
It was a jigsaw puzzle. I'll tell you that much. And I tapped out and I said, Mike, go ahead, go in, good luck. And the next thing you know, I'm sawing wood in the car out cold, and then I hear you come and yell.
I didn't know what door I walked into. I didn't know what door. Listen, hey, this mill was not like you're standing straight up in that mill. Riley, it had many layers.
Yes.
It was on 2 different blocks, but connected. It had like different driveways and different back alleys.
You know, it reminded me a little bit of the old Kerr Mill if you would have drove around the back of it and had to go in by the back.
Yeah, but you couldn't drive in between the buildings like you could at this one.
No, but then the back of the Kerr Mill, the old Kerr Mill years ago, was a little bit like that. Not as bad as this one though. This was.
Golly, we were in a bucket. We liked it so much we went 5 times.
Yeah, in Pawtucket.
We drove to Providence and then came back through Pawtucket to get out of there.
Well, thank God for.
But we found a way, and then
for Google Maps.
And then the second guy was closed. So
yeah,
that's our luck. What a football weekend it was! Oh my God!
It was a lot.
NFL, college football at its best, and high school football wraps up this season, and it's the last time for a lot of people that they'll ever play football again. High school football. Jeffrey New Bevan has been doing it. They have the 7th longest rivalry in the country.
Wow, really?
Right?
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know
You know that?
Really?
No.
7th longest rivalry in the country. 87 was 100 years.
Wow.
87 was 100 years. I was at that game. Joe Kazin, Chris Resendiz, Clint Cabral, Mitch Rogers, Jimmy Frascator.
What year was that? 87?
87. They were good.
It's been 134 years, the rivalry.
Wow.
Both teams have been going at it for, And there were times when they played, there's been times that they played twice.
Really?
And I think there's 1 or 2 times that they missed during World War II.
Well, did they miss because of the COVID last year, too?
I don't think so. No.
No, they played last year. Durfee's won 2 in a row.
Because what they did last year was they played with a mask on. So and Durfee.
really?
Yeah, that was my.
Well,
season.
they only played like a short schedule last year.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
not like 9 games or like 7 games or something like that.
Maybe even
Weird.
less than that.
It was like 3 and 4 or 4 and 3 or something like that. It was super weird.
So we tip our hats to all the great people who made that commitment. And one thing about football, right? It's a little bigger commitment than most other sports, right? You would agree?
I would think so.
You would agree?
The contact, the conditioning, I would
But
think
if
so.
you're an offensive lineman, you know you're not getting the ball.
Yep.
You know you're not getting the best girl, right? That's not happening. That's going to the quarterback and the guys who score the touchdowns. Or the middle linebacker who's, acting all crazy, or the safety that's hot stepping in the end zone. I mean, you got to do it, but it's the one game where, man, you need everybody. I mean, we see it in the NFL. If one part of this game is a skill, everything else goes down the toilet.
House of Cards, yep.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. So we tip our cap to all those high school football players out there, made it happen. College football rivalry week has turned into championship week. Okay, but let's go to the college football thing, of course.
Wow.
Okay, and not that I want to take a bow.
Well, you have every right to.
I'll tell you what. Now break down the analytics of my bet, Birdie, so people do not think I am fibbing to them.
Well, as far as analytics go, I'll just give some numbers, not game numbers, but your pick was based on what your eyes saw with Michigan, which was edge rushing and being able to control the ball off with the offensive line, and which was right on point because that was the formula for them to beat Ohio
And the
State.
fact that the atmosphere would be too much for the young quarterback.
But let's go into the numbers game going into this game. Michigan had lost 15 out of 16 times.
Yeah, 10
the
in a row, I
last
believe.
3 games in a row, they had been outscored by over 100 points in the last 3 games. It was some mind-boggling number.
Harbaugh hadn't won.
Harbaugh had never won, and the bookies going into that game said it was their biggest liability of the year, meaning they, for college football this year, that was the most money bet on any one side for the whole college football.
91% of the dollars, 91 out of $100 was spent on Ohio State. Okay, now I ask you, how many of them had the money line?
A lot less than that, probably.
Probably 2%.
Yeah,
You're looking at him right
probably
there.
say
You look
something
at,
like that.
I told you how it was going to go down. Okay? The edge rushers from Michigan, the
Hutchinson.
discipline, home field advantage, maybe some bad weather, slow down the wide receivers there, and that the rookie quarterback, okay, would not be ready for the challenge. So, Mike,
I got a news flash for you. Mike,
and stop right there. I'm going against everything. Michigan is going to win the national championship.
they're on a train, and you're riding it right now.
I'm riding it. I'm riding it. Even
Mike-
if they're going to go against Alabama, even if they're going to go against Bama.
Okay, I got a news flash for you.
I got it.
The party at Michigan that they started after this game,
Yeah.
it's still going right now. Mike.
Oh, I know it is. They're partying.
Because that was insane.
Yeah, it was
they were
unbelievable.
waiting for this for a long time up there. So
Sure. And then I saw Minnesota, right? They did some dirty
I was on the wrong end of that one.
You know that House of Pain song that was made famous
yes. Yes.
at University of Wisconsin.
That's the Wisconsin song, yeah.
You know that they played that when their kids were
They
celebrating
were
on the court.
rubbing it in.
Oh yeah, the rivalry games.
Yeah, I don't know
The
that.
nutmeg. How many crazy rivalries in the MAC? And every game has you're playing for a sword or some syrup
Or the Paul Bunyan.
or the Paul Bunyan.
So
I mean,
crazy.
it's crazy.
The egg down in the
Egg Bowl.
The Egg Bowl. But that college football side this past Saturday, that was a wild weekend.
Let me tell you something. Speaking of the Egg Bowl, okay, I know one thing. If Cincinnati played Ole Miss would blow them out. But
Cincinnati's on the outside look. I mean, Ole Miss is right on the edge, on the outside looking in for this
yeah,
playoff.
but let me ask you a question. If you're gonna bet your last dollar, you're gonna take Ole Miss or you're gonna take Cincinnati.
I haven't seen enough of those teams this year.
Well,
to
let me
really
do.
say
I've seen too much of it. Okay, and I'm telling you right now, I would bet on that. But looks like it's going to be Alabama. Looks like it's going to be that Alabama barely gets by Auburn. Okay, I said the same thing there that I thought the young quarterback in Alabama, the moment might be too much for him. Okay, because all you hear all year, right? Yeah, that's great, but we'll see what you do against Ohio State. Oh, yeah, that's great, Mr. Rookie. We'll see what you do against Auburn. And you hear it all the time, right? And then now it's time to do. And then you put 100 years of rivalry on top of it and 10,000 pounds worth of grudges, okay? And 50,000 pounds worth of gorillas on your back, okay? Your phone starts ringing 10 times more than it normally does. Your pillow and your sheets aren't as comfortable as they once were because, you're tossing and turning and saying, what's going on? And then bang, it happens.
No, Mike, you're right, because I'm going to tell you right now, no matter what the records are, these teams could be undefeated. The only games that they're looking at when they circle every year is the rivalry games. Auburn, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State. These games take on a whole life of their own. These games mean more to some of these teams than their entire regular season. Just to win that game, it can make your season, whether you've had a miserable season or not, you win one of those. Like Auburn this year. They had a pretty good season. They're not really going anywhere. But they had that game won, and they blew that game when the running back went out of bounds. So, I mean, those games, I mean.
Question for Rowdy Rally. College football hasn't caught your eye yet? No,
I don't really care much, just because I don't like the aspect of the players are not going to go nowhere. Not go nowhere. They're going to go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like if you fall in love with a player, he's going to be gone in like 2-3 seasons, guaranteed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to watch him for a long
with the
time.
transfer portal, even quicker than that.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it's tough for me. But the people before me and all the generations like you guys, and even the generation like right after you guys and right before me, they still like it. But I don't know how much it's caught on with my generation, because like my friends who like football, we don't really care much for college football. But
Is that because you guys are buried so much into the fantasy?
yeah,
portion of
I would say that plays a big part into a fantasy, and just the NFL has gotten so big, and like so many, it's just so much like franchises are getting so big, and
college
I think
football-
fantasy is a huge point too, because there's no fantasy in college, and it's just like fantasy. Just people like I'm in 4 leagues, people are on like 7-8 leagues. Like people don't really have much time for any more football other than not the NFL. You know what I mean?
No. Why not have a fantasy football for the Big Ten or the SEC?
They might not be able to because of money wise.
Well, now they can't. Now
You can
they
do it on
change the stuff.
FanDuel.
What?
FanDuel
For college?
has college.
College,
Yeah,
really?
you can do
Really?
college on there. Oh yeah, I just stay away from it because it's too unpredictable. That's why I never
didn't
mess
know
with
that.
it.
Oh, we gotta dive
You can
into
do
that.
college.
We
though,
gotta,
but
we
I mean,
gotta
at
jump
the end
into
of the year,
that.
now, you might be able to get it this week on for Saturday.
We need like a bowl of like a hyphenated version of a March Madness poll for both
for the
for
bowl
the bowl
games.
week.
Yeah, you could do like a pool for the bowl.
Yeah, but we don't want to start like the first. We want to miss like the first 4 or 5, 6 games.
Well, one last thing about the college football, Mike. At that Alabama game, these overtime rules in college football, this is ridiculous. This 2-point, the way it just keeps going back and forth. They got to get rid of that overtime.
So you have to
That
do.
was so stupid.
No, it is crazy.
Well,
like
oh,
4
It's crazy.
overtimes, right?
Yeah,
Or 3
no,
overtimes.
it's crazy the way they're doing
So
it.
let me ask you a question. So you have to. So you only go for 2-point conversions after a certain
After
time.
the second, after you get the ball twice, and on the third round, then you have to go for, I believe this is how it works. You have to go for
So
the
you still
2-point
go for the
conversion.
touchdown, then the 2, or just
I'm not
the 2?
even sure. It's so crazy. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
because I had the over, and I thought I was going to sneak in that, but then next thing I know, I see him getting
But they
2
changed.
points.
Yeah, they changed it. They're just going for 2. I don't understand.
Think that's for the gamblers?
I don't like it. I
Keep
think
that
they
over and under
should, they
intact?
should adopt it the way the pros do it. The NFL's got it now, where at least the NFL, even if you just kick a field goal, you're still going to get to possess the ball. Whereas in college now, they're just putting these teams on the 25-yard line, and it goes back. It's like a tennis game, back and forth, till they force you to go for the 2-point conversion. So
Yeah, it doesn't
it's
make any
crazy.
sense.
No, it's crazy.
They're gonna do it. Should there be a tournament in college football, Riley? I mean, should we take it away from like who's on that board? I think it's athletic directors, right? Is there anybody from the media?
I
I like the
idea.
tournament aspect. It gives you like a nice hype to it. You know what I mean? Like,
think
oh,
they're
are we
gonna
gonna
have-
make it? And if you do make it, it's down to these last 4 teams. You know exactly what the road's gonna look like. It's fun.
Well, they were talking about going to 8 teams.
Would you think they should go to 8?
But then they're gonna
Yeah, I
have
think
to,
so.
they're gonna have to probably go 1 or 2 less regular season games because they're gonna be playing 15 games. I mean,
I like the 8 ones.
What
I
about
like
the
8.
kids in their studies? What are they gonna do? The children. We got to protect the children.
I think they should go 8 games, and then even if they're
8
worried about
teams.
stuff like that, I
Yeah.
mean 8 teams, they could lower the regular season games, but I think 8 would be perfect because now it gets more teams in, and you can get those big upsets happening, like the number 1 team, like say Alabama loses to
Sure,
I don't know,
yeah,
number 8,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Ohio State, you know what I mean?
Well-
Like that would be a really good something like that would be really cool.
that 4 team this year is really good because if it was only 2 teams right now this year, you'd have some serious controversy with Michigan and Alabama and who's going to be playing Georgia.
I think if Alabama lose again, you might have some controversy.
Well, it
Well,
worked out for them. They
I'm
got 4 teams.
going to
now.
take a 1-loss SEC team or a 1-loss Big Ten team.
If Alabama would have lost that game to Auburn,
Yeah,
there would
that's,
have been some
if
serious
it's some butts and
trouble,
candy with us and every day be Christmas, but they did it. They should have. They were outplayed,
Yep.
but they got the W,
Yep.
right? And if we start going up to that hill, games you won where you shouldn't have won,
It's getting
Then-
too ugly.
that'd be a mess. So should it go to 8, say to 4? Who knows? We'll see. But I believe it should be Georgia 1,
Yep.
Bama 2,
That's
Michigan
debatable.
3, Cincy 4.
That's what it looks like. The only thing that scares me about this thing is Notre Dame's lurking around 5 with Ole Miss, and Notre Dame is a cash cow for the NCAA, and if they can somehow try to squeeze them in there, that's what worries me about this. So.
See, if there was 8 teams,
Yeah.
now you got
there you
Notre
go.
Dame.
Hope
They
that
could push to
doesn't
the
happen.
they
Sure.
could push to the championship. I love the 8-team idea.
Notre Dame cannot go over Cincinnati. Cincinnati smacked the
I
listen,
agree. I agree with you, but we've
listen,
seen them do stranger things in the past to
It would
appease
be
their-
one. It would be one of the most unjust things in the history of sports.
I agree. But
If Notre Dame goes past Cincinnati after Cincinnati smacked them at home, beat them. Listen to me. At one point, you have to put the analytics, the egos, the divisions, the lobbying to an end and go to the simplest form of finding out who's better. Head-to-head matchups,
Yep.
okay? And in a head-to-head matchup, Cincy smashed Notre Dame. Now, you can play the game of, could Cincy have stayed undefeated against Notre Dame's schedule? The answer is no. Okay? But you know something? You can't change the rules in the middle of the game. So when you have this fucked up system where it's about conjecture and opinions and all of this stats and all of this nonsense by probably a bunch of dudes that sit at a table, haven't put shoulder pads on in 30 years, you're going to have situations like this. But there's one thing tried and true, right? Head-to-head matchups.
that's correct.
Okay? And Cincinnati had it all over Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame, too, which is the...
Even though I think Notre Dame would beat Cincinnati again, they didn't. And it's the head-to-head. And for Cincinnati to lose that right because of somebody's opinion or somebody's idea or somebody's analytics or graphs or strength of schedule, no, you can't do it.
Well, Cincinnati's got the ball in their court. All they got to do is win this next game, and then there'll be no conjecture because then they'll be undefeated for the season.
But all day you've been in my ear about Notre Dame's going to sneak
Because
past
I
them.
could see the NCAA's done crazier things before, and like I said, the NCAA is driven by what, Mike?
Money.
Money, and
Sure.
Notre Dame is the cash cow.
Cincinnati will cost the NCAA money this year by getting
that's
it.
what I'm saying.
That's the sad reality.
They're
of it.
looking at it from the
They're not a brand name. Okay,
small,
they're not,
small market.
Small market. A
something
conference that is underrated, underappreciated, but not in the Power Five.
Something to keep an eye on.
But still, listen to me. They played some good football teams. They went undefeated, and they won their games they had to win. And they went to South Bend, okay, and put a tear in Touchdown Jesus' eye because they smashed the Fighting Irish in their own backyard. And remember me and you were saying about how they couldn't believe how many people were dressed in Cincinnati gear at that game?
I was shocked by that.
Yeah,
When
so
they showed the
it is
cross.
what it is.
See,
So,
if we move to 8, we wouldn't
No
have this
problem. There
problem.
you go.
No problem, because Notre Dame gets in. It's probably like a 5, 6, 7 around there, and then they get to play maybe Cincinnati again in a playoff game, or they could sneak past them. I just think 8 is a perfect number.
You might move Ole Miss.
Yeah,
Okay, Ole Miss might
you get more
might be
teams
the-
in there. You know
Well,
what I
the
mean?
only problem with 8 is if you're going to do 8 for somehow or go to 6, you're kind of penalizing a team like Georgia. So you got
Well,
to
they give them a bye.
You got to go to the bye at that point.
Yeah.
Well, so then
You
you
can't
go
have
to
them
you
playing
go to
all that
6
game.
maybe because
Yeah,
the six gives 2 teams a bye,
Yeah.
and it could give the
the
top
first
2
two a bye,
first 2 a
play it.
bye,
Yeah, that's
and then
correct.
the
Yeah,
bottom
that'd
4
be
can
the
go at
the
it.
best way to do
So
it.
you play in for the bottom 2 spots, which I think
Yep.
which could be the perfect way to do it,
Yep.
or just do 8 and be like, hey, look, nobody's getting a bye.
no,
Everybody just play either
Your
way.
bye should be the 8th seed.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
I like that better.
Because now the 8th seed, if Notre Dame's the 8th and they upset Georgia at number 1, then you're looking at real good money for NCAA. So yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do. A crazy week that was in the NFL. What is up is one's down. What is down is one up. The Cowboys are a mess.
Thank
Okay,
God.
Lamont Jackson throws 3 picks in 5 minutes and still wins the football game. Tennessee gets smashed in Foxborough. Tom Brady comes back and wins in Tampa. Gronk has an amazing game.
123
Okay.
yards.
The LA Rams continue continue their spiral. I mean, the Chargers come off a huge victory. They go to Denver, rally squad, and get smacked around by Denver. Denver now is a legitimate playoff threat. I mean, the Pittsburgh gets embarrassed by Cincinnati. The Giants win.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming, but San Francisco's another team to keep an eye
Yeah,
on
and San
right now.
Francisco again. San Francisco made my power rankings this week.
Wow.
As well they should.
San
Really?
Francisco
It
made
might be the
my...
hottest team in the league right now.
Do you have your power rankings done, Birdman?
I put them in. I put San Francisco in, yeah.
Really?
Yes, I did.
They weren't even a question of mine. I'll be honest, because those teams I left off, and I was like, how am I leaving this team off? And they weren't one of them, to be honest, but I can see it.
Can I see that sheet?
You guys aren't worried about Garoppolo?
Yeah.
Because we've seen it before. They had the perfect team set up for him.
Yeah.
He only needs to make a few throws in the Super Bowl, and he couldn't make those throws against the Chiefs. They should have won that game.
I think that they responded very well to realizing, fuck, our backs against the wall early in the year. We got to right this ship.
Well, they were almost in the same situation, the Patriots, and they were like 2-4, I believe, or something like that.
But with huge expectations.
Yes, yeah. that's
Huge
the difference.
expectations.
No, you're right. That's the difference. Yeah.
All right. Thanksgiving, Chicago beats the Bears in an absolute nap. Did you see the coaches from Detroit implode during that game with the timeouts and the too many men on the field?
Yeah, that was crazy.
No, I did not.
It was crazy. It was really, really, really sad thing to see because I'm kind of I didn't.
You want to see that guy get a win?
I didn't like that guy Campbell at first. But then he grew at me. And his teams were playing hard, but just I guess he got rid of his offensive coordinator. So now he is calling plays, not qualified to do it. Terrible game management down the stretch. I feel bad for the Detroit and their fans for sure, because I don't think this regime is going to work out either. Las Vegas Raiders shocked the world, go down to Dallas and beat them 36-33.
The 1 week I needed Dallas to win, they couldn't do it for me.
Yeah, right. Go figure. Buffalo looks good against a team without a quarterback. And the New Orleans Saints, a once promising team at the start of the year, has now just going to have to relish playing spoiler.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Philly, a lot of people bet Philly this week, and they didn't get it done. Jalen Hurts gets hurt early, I believe, right?
I don't know if he got hurt. He played the whole game, though. He did not have a good game. He looked real bad. But to his credit, he threw 2 passes that would have won that game at the end to his receiver, Rager, and both balls were dropped right in his hands that would have won the game for Philly. So he did not have a good game for the whole game, but at the end, he could have won that game.
No, let me guess, you must have a gambling interest to be watching.
Well, I had
Philly
the Giants.
Philly and the Giants. When Tampa Bay's going on, fucking New England's going on.
Well,
that's the beauty of football.
I had the Giants, so I was glued to that game.
Carolina or Miami. Talk to me about Miami a little bit. The Arruda boys getting it is...
Yeah, but the AFC is tough. It's so congested, and Miami's a little farther back behind. Like even the Broncos at
I'm happy
at
for their coach.
Yeah, me too. I like him. He's a really good coach. But even the Broncos at like what 6-5, they're still a little bit behind. Never Miami, who I think is like 5-6, or they might be around there. Or right? Is it 5 wins?
5-7.
Yeah, 5-7. So they're a few games behind, and they need teams like the Steelers to win a bunch, lose a bunch, the Broncos to lose a bunch. They need too much to happen to make the playoffs, but it could happen. We've seen crazier things happen before. But it's gonna be tough. But they're looking really good towards the end of the year. They need, if they can get a few wins, because I think they played the Jets twice already. They got to play the Patriots one more time, and I think it's all no more division games.
Miami, you want to keep an eye. I know that they didn't put themselves in such a hole at the beginning of the year. They're playing the Giants this week. Then I think they get like Jacksonville.
How many games left for everybody? 6 or 7, right?
6 maybe.
6, I think.
Yeah. Miami's schedule is very, very easy if they can continue to play the way they are, but they just put themselves in a big hole early in the year, though. We'll see.
Pittsburgh 10, Cincinnati 41. This one blows my mind.
So the Pittsburgh, are we off of the Pittsburgh?
That's one of our questions for Stop Someone.
Okay.
Save that.
All right, sorry.
Definitely
It's
done.
all right. New York Jets 21, Houston 14. Tough to figure this one out.
Yeah.
Did Zach Wilson play quarterback, right?
Yeah, he did. And Houston was ahead 14-3 in that game, and the Jets came back. So with Tyrod Taylor, I was a little surprised, but two bad teams playing against
Tennessee
each other.
13, New England 36. Anybody surprised at the size of the victory by the Patriots?
No, not really.
No. I was surprised the game was only 3 points at halftime. I thought it would have been a lot worse than
Really?
that.
This is a Tennessee team that was the hottest team in football.
Yeah, with 6 or 7 starters missing, Mike. I mean, both sides of the ball, they're decimated in that game. So
Tampa Bay 38, Indy 31. Anybody surprised about this outcome? Come
yes,
on.
yeah, no, I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because Tampa Bay did not look good in the first half. They came back. The first half, their defense was getting gashed. They were down, 24-14? And then they came back in the second half. But
And you know
that was a big win for them.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that game too was Jonathan Taylor didn't have a fantastic game either. Only until like the fourth quarter is when he finally scored and looked really good.
Yeah.
So that's what I liked about that game for the Colts was that they looked really good and had like a 10-point lead up against the Buccaneers. And I was still thinking like, yeah, they got Tom Brady. It's probably not going to be over here.
No.
If you're playing any other quarterback, it's pretty much over because you have Jonathan Taylor. But that's what I liked was that the Colts were doing so good even without using their best player to his highest caliber. But for the Bucs side, it's a really good comeback win. Should they have let somebody like the Colts score 31 points on them? And almost if that kick return, that guy doesn't touch him on his shoulder, it's going to overtime. Because I was watching that, I was like, no way.
Tampa's defense in the first half.
That punt return had me standing up, screaming at the fucking television, bro. Believe me.
What was the spread on that game?
3.5. That's the first time Tampa's covered on the road this year. But no, the defense came out in the second half and got 3 turnovers. That's what saved the game for them.
Atlanta, Jacksonville.
Another yawner.
Minnesota. Hey, listen to me. What is my boy Cousins doing? Lining up.
He's actually having a really good year though. I saw that, but that was terrible. Lining up under the right guard.
And they said if it was hold on.
That's Birdie's old quarterback.
Hey, hold on. They said if it was Murray or somebody in a shotgun, they could understand it. But this guy takes more snaps under center than any other quarterback in the National Football League.
Traditional lineman.
How do you do it that late in a game like that? How does that fucking happen?
And the thing about him, right? Before that game, he was 20 touchdowns or 22 touchdowns to 2 interceptions only. He had the best touchdown to interception ratio by far in the league.
Really?
And coming down towards the end of the game, right when they need him, he throws an interception, and now he's at 23-3, which is still a great ratio. Sure, but when they needed him the most, oh my god,
a little bit.
Yeah,
in big games
he got messed up. Yeah. In big games, he gets messed up all the time, and then the primetime games, never bet on them because they're terrible. The Cousins can't win big games.
L.A. Clippers,
Chargers,
14, Denver 28, Riley's. Broncos are like cockroaches. You can't kill them. They're hanging around. Hoping that altitude gets into them teams' lungs.
What was your
hoping
thoughts
that big altitude?
You didn't really expect to see them just come out and set the tone and just beat them down.
No, I thought they were going to lose. I thought they were going to lose as soon as I saw the inactives. I thought they were going to lose. As soon as I saw the inactives, we had no left tackle starting. Our starting left tackle, we just paid big money. No, one of our best safeties, who's actually leading the league in strong safety votes for the Pro Bowl. He wasn't playing. We had another offensive lineman not playing. So we had a fair few injuries. And I was like, yeah, this game's over as soon as before it started. And when they played, they looked really good. And the rookie Pat Surtain, who we took at number 9 instead of Justin Fields, had a career game. He had 5 tackles. 2 interceptions. He had 70.
Patrick Surtain Jr.
Yeah, the second. Yeah. So and he had 70-yard pick 6. He had a ridiculous game, and the whole defense looked really good. They were just shutting down the Chargers the whole game, and I'm just liking what I'm seeing. I just hope Teddy can just keep the ship sailing fine. I still don't like him at all, but. Just maybe we can sneak into the playoffs.
Who's the other kid that they got there?
No, I was a huge fan of Drew Lock. I was a huge fan of Drew Lock, like a massive fan of his after the first year. But he came in yesterday and he was terrible. Like as soon as he came in, he rolls out to the side, right, and he was gonna throw the ball away. So you throw it at your own receiver's feet because nobody's open. He goes to throw it at his own receiver's feet, but he throws it too high where the safety picks it off. When he's trying to throw the ball away, he gives a pick away. Like, you can't do that. When you're trying to throw the ball away, you can't give the ball to the other team. Like, just spike it into the ground next to the guy's feet. He's terrible. But until then, I hope they beat the Chiefs. I mean, it's going to be a fantastic game on Sunday. Hopefully, we don't get blown out. But
where is that?
Yeah,
it's in Arrowhead, that game. Because last game of the season, it's in Mile High.
In this NFL, you never know.
L.A. Rams 28, Green Bay 36. Riley doesn't think this was his battle loss for the Rams, but I think it is once you add up the 2 before it.
Okay.
And we said Matt Stafford got shook since that Tennessee game.
I love it. I love to hear this because I want to do a comparison.
I just want to ask you one question.
All right, then I'll do a comparison. Go ahead.
All right. I don't know if you've seen the whole game.
That's your boy's opinion.
Yes. Go ahead.
I'm piggybacking.
McVay. Not only he's got an issue. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. You want to talk? We're going to go back to analytics. I'm watching this game because I bet Green Bay 7-0 first quarter, mid first quarter, 4th and 1 from your 29-yard line, and you decide to go for
That's
it
insane.
and did not make it. Okay,
That's insane.
Okay,
That's
what
insane.
what is going through these coaches'
That's
minds?
insane.
I like it because you're trusting, you're putting trust into the offensive players you have. I know you shouldn't do it,
What is
but
the
you're telling the quarterback, you're telling the running back, hey, look, this is how much trust I have in you, so go out there and do it for me. You know what I mean? So it's a good look, but you still shouldn't go for it.
In the fourth quarter, if you want a momentum swing and it's the end of the game, 5 minutes, maybe.
Or a momentum swing, or you're down, or you're
First
looking
quarter,
at
you're only down one score.
Yeah.
You're Aaron Rodgers. You're going to give him the ball in the short field. Like
So you ready
that?
for
That
this?
was
We got player A versus player B. I want you to tell me who you like better.
Let me guess.
Blind
Player
stats.
B's gonna be Tom Brady.
Oh,
Nope.
blind stats.
Blind stats. Player A versus player.
I like
This is how I love to look at fantasy numbers because there's no like what's the word I'm thinking of, bias that goes into it.
See.
So player.
But the question with this is, you don't know when you factor in garbage time stats. So
It's just stats.
I
It's
know,
just pure
I know,
stats.
I know. Okay,
So
go
there's
ahead.
no lies here. So player A has a passer rating of 105. His yards is 3,316. His completion percentage is about .665, 30 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. That's player A. Player B has a passer rating of 99.1. He has 3,071 yards, .668 completion percentage, 25 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. So what player are you taking? Player A or player B?
I'm taking player A.
Birdie, how about you?
See, I don't value the quarterback rating
Play
that
the
much.
game, Birdie.
I'm going to take the percentage is the same. You're just going by touchdown. Yeah, you're going to go with player A because he's throwing 5 more touchdowns.
Yeah, so player A is Matthew Stafford. Player B is Josh Allen. And everybody has Josh Allen as his number one MVP. Like the Bills are going to go to the Super Bowl, this and that. When Matthew Stafford, everyone's like, oh, he's playing so bad. His numbers are pretty much he's better than every quarterback in every stat other than Brady in yards and completion percentage. So it's not that bad as everyone's saying.
I love your balls.
It's not as bad as everyone's saying.
I love your
Broke it
balls
down.
to come up here and play Matt Stafford. 5 picks yesterday.
Yeah, and his
In the game of the week.
And yes, and his stats are still really good. Everyone has bad games, right? Last year, and going off of this year, if we went off of the one game Rodgers played against the Bucks last year and against the Saints this year, he would never be in the MVP
No,
set.
we got it.
And you know, last year what was his game against the Buccaneers? It was like 3 interceptions, like 45 yards, and like no touchdowns. And he had like a 20 QBR or something like that.
You need to go to law school. I'd want you defending me in a million years. Now, hold on 1 second, right? Hold on. Now, I'm going to ask you this. Are you concerned? Please tell me concerned about the trend.
Yes, the trend is a little concerning, but it's nothing to forget about what they've done for the whole season. It's just I like when people follow the trends, but just don't forget what's happened the whole season. I get they're trending, but we've seen it so far where the Bengals were the hottest team in the NFL, then they went all the way down. The Chargers were the hottest team, they went all the way down. The Bucks weren't doing that great, now they're all the way up. The Chiefs were terrible, now they're all the way up. It can happen like this. So all they need is one big win against the Cardinals so they play again, or against the 49ers. They just need one big win, and it changes their whole season. Like all those numbers and all those wins before against those good teams didn't go anywhere. I get they've had some bad games, but that team is still capable of winning.
I think the trend continues, and I'm making a bold prediction. I don't think the Rams are going to make the playoffs.
No, they're going to get in. They got Jacksonville this week at home. That's got to be
That's a bye week.
That's
a bye week.
I mean, they're going to be 2 games ahead in the wild card. They would have to have an epic collapse toward the end of the season for
How
them
many times are they going to play San Francisco?
One more.
In Arizona.
One more for Arizona.
One each, and then I don't know what the rest of the schedule is. But they got, like I said, they got Jacksonville. We'll put them they'll go to 8-4
Listen
this
to
week.
me. Listen to me. Playing quarterback in the National Football League, you are scrutinized more than the President of the United States.
No, I agree, but
listen to me. Everywhere, people banging on McVay and banging on Stafford.
I don't think Stafford deserves it as much as he's getting it. I get his game didn't look that great, but he has so many games this season where he looked phenomenal. And this game didn't look the best, but still, the Bucs game looked great. The game against the Giants that was closer. There was a bunch of them that he looked great. Like, he still has MVP numbers, and it's just. I get the trend doesn't look good, but I still think they're going to comfortably make the playoffs. And they're still in the race for the number 1 seed because they only have, 4 losses?
They're not going to get that right.
But they're still in the race, though. It's not it's not over. I'm not predicting them to go to get the number 1 seed.
For them to have any chance, they would have to beat the Cardinals the next time
and then they got to
them.
play the 49ers again, too.
I'm not saying they will, but it's still in the cards because teams can get the 49ers or the Cardinals could become ice cold, just like the Rams did for 3 games in a row. So could the Packers.
Hot topics. We got 8 of them. Take your pick. What do you want?
4.
Ready? Number 4. Is the Big Ben era over in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Well, the problem with the Steelers was yesterday you had all your defensive players back. You had T.J. Watt played. You had
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Patrick back. Everybody else, and your
Cameron
defense
Hayward.
got shredded like that.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's a division
wrap.
game too, and that's the first time
That's
since
a wrap.
2009 that the Bengals have swept the Steelers.
Enjoy
that
the
doesn't
ride.
tell you that something's changing.
There you go.
Something's changing.
There you go. Great point, Riley. Log that. Is Ben Roethlisberger a top 10 quarterback of all time?
I would think so, based on his body of work, career-wise, longevity, the numbers he's put up. I would say so.
Yeah, stats wise, if you look at his stats, he's up there for almost everything in top 10. So 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, 2 Super
I don't know if he
Bowls.
won the MVP in any of them. I don't think so, because I think the second one was Santana Moss. I don't know, but
Yeah,
I would say he's probably in the bottom half, but like 7 to 10, somewhere around there.
Should he play another year?
After what I've seen this year, I would strongly advise against it.
It's his choice. But are the Steelers really going to be wanting him back when when the quarterbacks that could be in the market like Watson and Aaron Rodgers, who give you a chance to win now and more of a future than Ben does? Like we all agree that Watson and Rodgers are better than Ben right now, and we all agree that they have like Rodgers has like probably we could say 3 more, and Watson has like 10 more. So if those 2 are in the market, I don't know if I would want Ben.
But 2 of them, Rodgers and Watson, are a headache for different reasons.
True.
Rodgers is a constant headache, and Watson has the biggest.
Yeah, we still have to see what's going to happen.
what's
There.
going
Off
on
the
there.
field issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry for that, big man, but I got to agree with my boys over here. But now, yeah, I'm not throwing the towel.
Well,
just
part
yet.
of his problem's been the offensive line too. It hasn't been all on him.
4 is gone. Next up, Birdie, pick a number.
2.
Tampa Bay gets a huge win on the road.
No, that's 100% correct. They
Do
would have
you-
lost that game. It might have.
Do you see Brady another last-second game-winning, game-sealing drive? Gronk has had his best game in a Buccaneer uniform. Can you see the Tampa Bay Bucks back in the Super Bowl?
Of course. Just with time, anytime you got Tom Brady on your team, you got a chance. The problem is, as I've been saying all along, is the defense. The defense is going to keep putting them in the hole where they have to offensively score a lot of points. And unless that defense can get their act together, it's going to
And
be.
my counterpoint to you is this,
Yep.
right? We're not talking about winning the Super Bowl, we're talking about getting the Super Bowl.
Ah.
How many teams left can score with Tampa Bay? The answer is 1.
No,
I go 2.
Green Bay can score with them. We know that, right?
Yeah.
I believe
Okay.
the Cardinals, if what Kyler Murray
He thinks the Kyle. He thinks Kyle.
score some points.
the Rams. I mean, it's yes,
Really,
they put up a lot of points yesterday too.
offensive team.
Riley, you got balls the size of great nuts.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that crazy though, because again, I'm gonna go back to it.
Stick to your guns.
The
That's
Rams,
how-
the
that's how
Rams
it
beat the
becomes-
Buccaneers this year, and they didn't beat them by a little score game. They beat them, what was it, 38-28 or something like that?
Sure, yeah.
They scored a lot of points, and that again, the Rams could have been worse. The Rams are better than the Buccaneers are worse, but the Rams are still capable of scoring a lot of points. Like what was the score yesterday? 38-26.
Yes.
So, and I think they can still put up a lot of points. Obviously, we're all going to agree the Packers because they got Rodgers and all that. And the Cardinals are still winning games without Murray and without Hopkins. So, I don't think they're ready to play with the Buccaneers, but I would say the Packers and the Rams for me could score with them.
Michael Irvin had a great point about the nuances of a slot receiver and how important he is to the new NFL quarterback. And talking about how he had it easy because he was on the outside. He said that the book out on pressure and Stafford and without his blanket beating Woods there still is like a compounding loss. And he thinks that's going to be a tough time for them to get over.
Get back on track.
I think anybody could see Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. Next up, Riley.
Number 3.
Is Cam Scam Newton all done?
Sure looks like it.
They said it was one of the worst performances in NFL history. 4 for 24.
Yep. What, for like 60 or 70 yards or some insane number or what it was. Didn't see the game based on the numbers there, though. I mean, it's a bad look. It's coming off a pretty bad game the week before also. So, I don't know what you're going to do if you're Carolina. Not to mention the fact that McCaffrey just got put on the IR.
Yeah,
he's done for the year now, too.
I think McCaffrey's smart. He's resting.
Yeah,
He knows they're not going nowhere.
What he did
this year.
last year. So.
McCaffrey needs to get out of McCaffrey absolutely needs to get out of Carolina. He deserves to play in a good cultured program or in a big market.
Complimentary
he should go back to
offense
Denver.
where he's not the total feature
I honestly
player in
wouldn't
the
want him.
offense.
Why?
Because his contract is too big. I love McCaffrey. He's one of my favorite non-Broncos. His contract is too big, and I don't think we need running backs. If we're going to go out and spend on something else, obviously a quarterback, but more than just running backs, maybe an offensive lineman or a linebacker, because we have Javonte Williams, who's a rookie,
What
and
if
he's
he
been
takes?
looking
What
really
if
good.
he takes less?
No, I still wouldn't want him, just because you have no idea how much I love Javonte Williams. I'm not saying he's as good as McCaffrey right now, but I just think he's so good and he's gonna be a really good running back in the NFL. And he's so young; he's a rookie this year. McCaffrey has the injury history. I was one pushing that McCaffrey didn't have injury history until this year. It's just been riddled with injuries this year, riddled with injuries last year. I wouldn't want to pay somebody even if he's gonna ask for less. It's still gonna be a high running back money. You know what I mean? It's just going to be a lot for what he is, especially because he's been injured and he's about to turn 26, which is not the youngest of age for a running back, especially nowadays when they come and go like crazy.
Next up, pick it.
Did we do 5?
Five. Green Bay, Arizona, Rams, or Tampa. Who would you bet your last $100 on to get to the Super Bowl?
Well, right now it wouldn't be the Rams, but all at the same price.
Yeah,
Even
all at the same price.
I know you're not going to want to hear this.
I know you're going Green Bay.
But right now I'm going Green Bay based on Green Bay's defense from what I've seen this year.
Green Bay's defense could be a difference maker for sure.
Could be, but then again, I don't like betting against Tom Brady either. So I don't know. That's a tough question.
I'm rolling with my guys. I'm going the Rams.
You are a
I
rockstar.
picked them in the beginning of the year. Before they traded for everyone, I'm staying with it. I love Aaron Rodgers, and I don't want to bet against Aaron Rodgers, but I'm gonna roll with my pick. I'm rolling my pick. Rolling my pick. Hey, nothing will make me more happier.
Can get on a roll.
Hey, nothing will make
Jimmy
me.
Hilario is writing notes
That's fine.
about
That's
this.
fine.
Right
But
now.
nothing will make me more
I
happier
agree
than the
with you.
Packers making it. The Packers is the only team if I had to pick one team, I want the Packers out of the NFC. I'm just sticking with my pick, hoping Von Miller gets his second ring. Because that's all I want. I just want either the Packers or the Rams to make it out for Rodgers or Miller, and I'm gonna stick with the Rams. I think everyone's down bad on them, and I see the hope. The hope is at the end of the tunnel, and it's coming this week. This week is a huge turnaround week.
Hope it's not a freight train. Hope that light's not a freight train. The Patriots are the hottest team in football.
Can't argue it. They are.
6 wins in a row.
Cannot argue that fact.
Do you think they will continue the unbeaten streak at Buffalo on Monday night?
Personally,
Say, tell the truth, Birdie.
personally, I do not.
Do I gotta bust the Bible out here?
No, you don't, because I'm going to tell you exactly what I've told you
good.
all week long. Personally, I do not. But
you
if
think
they
the Patriots lose?
Then I think that, I do think they get beat this week in Buffalo. I think that's a bad spot for them. I think Bills, this is get back on track. Under the bright lights, Monday night, this is what we're going to see. Will the real Patriots of this season. We've seen a lot of...
You think Josh Allen will outplay Mac Jones?
Yes, I do. I know you might not think... I'm going to say, I do.
Riley, what do you think?
I agree with outplaying Mac Jones, but that doesn't mean
That
that
doesn't
mean that the Bills win.
No, I know.
I think he outplays them, but I think this game could go either way. I could see I could see the Bills blowing out the Patriots. I could see a close game. I could see the Patriots blowing out the Bills. I could see any way, and honestly, it wouldn't like shock me because we've seen the Bills get blown out at home this year by the Colts. And if you would have told me that coming into the season, I'd be like, no way, the Colts aren't that good. Same thing with the Patriots. I wouldn't have been like, nah, there's no way the Patriots are gonna blow them out. So I think anything could happen. I won't be shocked at either way, but I think this is gonna be a really, really, really good game to watch and one of the games of the season for what has to happen.
Bills Mafia, look out. We're bringing some real gangsters to Patriots. Sam Adams, John Adams, Paul Revere, George Washington.
Leon Gray.
Where the Revolutionary War started
Steve
in
Nelson.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Steve Grogan.
And so we're coming on with our Patriots to take on you mobsters. Bill Mafia, you're going down on Monday.
It's going to be interesting.
Next up.
Number 6.
Oh. Can the Cowboys regain their form, or is it all time?
Birdie, do you want a high five on this one?
I'm always happy no matter what happens in the NFL when the Cowboys lose. It's a good.
Why?
It's
It's
like,
better-
it's
it's
like
better
you
when the
smiling
Cowboys-
coming in here when the Broncos win.
Listen to me. It's better when they. Well, I got a style right. It's killing me. Listen to me. It's better when the Cowboys win, bro, for us.
All right. I'm going to critique the Cowboys. Give you a fair critique.
Yeah.
The Cowboys were without their top two receivers. I mean, it's tough to even though they were playing at home, you lose Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb
Yeah,
was
it's
out
tough.
with a concussion. Zeke was playing. He looks like he's banged up.
They said
And
they're going to lock him away for a
and
little
they
bit.
Still put up 30 points. Right? I'd be concerned right now, like we said earlier in the year, their defense wasn't going to play at the level that it was playing at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, no, you called
Their defense was smoking mirror, and he
I
also
was
said
saying
it
it too,
earlier.
yeah.
Their defense was not going to play at that level all year with the personnel they had.
But why do you hate the Cowboys? Do you hate
But
the
it's a
Cowboys?
natural
hate their fans?
rivalry from the NFC East.
yeah.
If you're an NFC
big
East,
night for you,
Eagles,
Birdman.
Redskins, Eagles.
What are we going to do to celebrate your Redskins being on national television, bro?
Well, it's probably the 5 minutes of fame for the Redskins this year to actually be in contention, and we'll see what happens tonight.
Are you watching the game here or
I'll
fellow
watch it for a
Redskins
little
fans?
while. Yeah, no, I don't.
You-
The Redskin fans are few and far between in this area, so if you can find some, let me know, because it's not like New Bedford with all the Cowboy stars.
Wow. Wow. That's like Cowboy Central. So the Cowboys have lost their way. Could they possibly lose the division?
No,
Because the
Ooh,
Eagles blew that game yesterday, and that saved Dallas from
So
having
what
an
is
impressive
Dallas's record right now?
7-4, I believe.
And what is Washington's record?
4-6. It's too much of a mountain. They'd have to beat them twice and go on an unbelievable win streak. Then we'll see. Play it game by game, but it's very, very unlikely.
So you don't see a Cowboys implosion.
It would have to be a complete collapse. They'd have to go lose 2 or 3 more in a row.
a la Red Sox,
schedule is.
1978.
Yeah,
in August.
that's exactly what you'd have to consider similarity to.
Okay. Last question: is Lamont Jackson a Super Bowl
That's my
quarterback?
Not when you're throwing 4 interceptions in the game, whether you win it or not. So he's got to. They got to.
every quarterback has done it in their.
He's got to clean that up, though. I mean, you got away with that against the Browns at
It's
home.
been a disappointing season statistically for him. But like Riley says, they are the best team in the Eastern in the AFC
Right
this
now,
year.
they are, yeah.
But every quarterback has their bad games, and I feel like Lamar's
But it's been a bad year for him.
not really
statistically.
He's had some really good games where people talk about it for a little bit and then it just goes under the radar, and he falls into the victim of where people love to laugh at him more than they love to praise him for what he does. Like as soon as he has a bad game like this, everybody, like not just us, but like everybody on Instagram and Twitter is like, oh, Lamar's a running back. But if he has a really good game like he did like a few weeks, like the Raiders game, even though they lost, he had a really good game, but nobody likes to talk about it when he has a really good game. But as soon as he has a bad game, it's like Lamar's a running back, when he's still good. Like if you watch him, he's still good. This game was really bad. This game was bad, throwing
I
4
say
picks. But
he's dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Then good. If I get to take an adjective off the wall, right, and go good, great or dangerous, I'm picking dangerous.
Yeah, because on any one play, he can go 90 yards, but he can also throw 4 picks in half.
You're right.
Yeah.
And on any one play, he can move the chains.
Yes.
You know,
he's-
very
he
difficult.
might be the best weapon in the NFL.
Yes.
He could be up there.
There you go.
He's
You know
fun
what I
to
mean?
watch unless you're betting on him. He'll drive you nuts in the game, though, too.
I don't think he's fun to watch.
Well, I mean, from the standpoint
I
of...
think he should run more. I think he should run more.
How much more can you run though? He's already gonna have like almost 3 years of 1,000-yard rushings as a quarterback. No one's even done that. I think Vic was the only one to do it once.
Yeah.
He has the most ever in one season.
Listen,
the second most ever in one
He's
season.
revolutionized the game.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
He's the
His
reason.
skill set.
He's the reason the Tyler Murrays and the Baker Mayfields are getting drafted when they're getting drafted.
He's Curry, pretty much.
You know?
Yeah, his
And
skill
he does-
set's off the
and
charts.
he does his homework. And he don't even go home. He stays in Baltimore and works. So I'm rooting for the young brother. Believe me when I tell you that.
No.
I just sometimes I think when he tries to put a square
Tries to
package
do maybe a
around
little too
home,
much, maybe, sometimes.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Like if you can win 3 games with him in the playoffs.
Well, if they're the number one seed, you won't have to win that 3 games
took the words right out of my mouth.
because they are the number one seed right now,
They
and
are.
all they got to do is just keep winning like this.
Sure. Yeah. And in an AFC, which watered down, I would say, this year a little bit,
Compared
right?
to the NFC, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Well, the NFC is top heavy, while the AFC is bottom heavy. You know what I mean? Like the NFC has
Yeah,
a bunch
exactly.
of teams on the top, and then the bottoms are weak. While the AFC, a lot of the bottom is super strong. Like the Bills are in the wild card. The Chiefs are 1 game out of the wild card. The Raiders are right there. The Bengals are right
Dolphins,
there.
the Dolphins
exactly.
are playing
The
well,
Steelers,
yeah.
the Broncos are all over there. You know what I mean? So they're bottom heavy.
One thing I noticed about the NFL in the last few weeks, if you've been watching these games, they've loosened up the pass interference. calls.
yeah.
I like that. I like that,
You
Mike.
do?
Yes, I do, because this is the way I grew up watching football. You can't baby these receivers all the time and be looking for a flag every single play down the field.
They really have put the...
They've let these defenders play a little bit now.
The NBA referees have
Doing
put,
the same,
put the whistle away,
I
too.
kind of like it. It brings back the old school
My
way.
boy
of- way of-
Lamar is going to have a rough end of the year. He's got the Steelers, which I think they should win, but that's a division game. It's the Steelers, so you can never say 100%. Then you got the Browns. You got the Packers, the Bengals, the Rams, and the Steelers.
Wow.
That is a rough schedule.
Take it week
So
to
if
week.
you
Don't
want to
look ahead
see
too
what the Rams
far.
are going to be, just
Take it
watch
week-
them for the rest of the year.
Take it
Because
week
these
to
are all
week.
teams that could be in the playoffs. There's 2 Super Bowl contending teams. You could argue 3 of them here with the Bengals. I'm not going to say the Bengals are a Super Bowl contending
is
team,
brutal.
but that's a brutal
Read that
schedule.
again, read that
So you
again.
got the Steelers, which is the biggest rival they have.
Yeah.
Then the Browns, another division game. Then the Packers, one of the
That's a
hottest
rough
teams in the
game. Yeah.
NFL.
The Bengals
The
again.
Bengals again, the Rams, and then the Steelers again. That is rough 6-game stretch right there. Like this is going to be a true test of this team and what they're going to be. If they finish the season with 5 losses, they're in my top 3. Because if they only lose 2 more games out of these next 6, that's insane. 2 games out of these next 6, that'd be really good.
I'd be surprised if that happens, but we'll be
what I'm saying,
following
yeah.
for you. Okay, speaking of strength of schedules, let's go to the question of the day: the Pats versus Buffalo. Okay, the Pats haven't had a bye week yet, so they have 5 games left. Buffalo has had a bye week, so they have 6. The Pats, these next 3 games are no joke. Okay,
Nope.
Buffalo, Indy, Buffalo. Where is the Indy game at? That's at home.
I believe it is.
Okay, so they play Buffalo on the road. They come home for back-to-back.
Oh,
Versus,
is there a bye week in between those?
They have
games
a bye week
somewhere?
next
Yeah,
week.
Yeah.
okay, all right. So Buffalo bye week, then Indy, Buffalo, Jacksonville, in at Miami with the Dolphins playing well.
Yep.
It's in Houston, in Indy, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in Indy.
That's it.
So there you have it, right?
We'll find out.
And then you go to Buffalo schedule. They got the Pats, the Bucks, Carolina, Pats again, Arizona, and the Jets.
Well,
I think the Buffalo schedule's harder, Birdie. I have to disagree with you here.
They have Atlanta, not Arizona.
no, that's not Arizona. Yeah, that
it's
makes a big
Atlanta.
difference.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
right. So you're
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
So now,
I was gonna say Arizona. I didn't. Yeah, that one slipped by me.
Well-
Atlanta. That makes a huge difference at Atlanta compared to Arizona. So
okay,
It's close. Which one's a tough?
Tampa
toughest?
Bay and Indy.
But then their bottom half of the games are stupid easy with the Panthers,
Panthers
the
and
Falcons,
Jets.
and the Jets. You know what I mean? They got
the
like
advantage.
But they still got to play them. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say that the Buffalo schedule is slightly more difficult because Tampa Bay, I think, is better than Indy.
yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
But I think the way that the Bills schedule goes about, I think is easier because the Patriots have to go Buffalo bye week, Indy, Buffalo. They have to play Buffalo 2 times within the space of X amount of weeks. Where
And they're going to play Miami, which they struggled to win
Yeah,
late in the
yeah.
season down there, too.
Well,
So that's what
Buffalo's got
happened.
the
So
one
now-
tiebreaker right now in the division.
So now
also.
it's time. It's time for Birdie's trivia.
Oh, okay.
No, power rankings,
Power
right?
We're
rankings,
doing
power
power
rankings,
rankings.
And then
power
trivia.
rankings. Okay.
So we're gonna go from
We had
seven
a-
each, 6 each, 5 each. You know what I mean?
We had a
All right,
little
all right. That's how you
heated
wanna do it. You
discussion
got it.
on these power rankings last week.
Okay, number 7, I have the San Francisco 49ers on the come up. The trend, as the Birdman has to say. They're climbing that mountain.
They are.
They're not sliding down the backside like the Cowboys are or the Rams are.
No.
Who do you got? Who do you got at 7, Birdman?
I got the New England Patriots at 7 right
You
now.
are out of your fucking mind. Are you kidding me?
Hey, that's what I have.
guys are crazy.
Listen. Mine says Pats / Bills. Whatever team wins that game.
The quality of the schedule that they've played.
Are you guys in collusion?
They are the hottest
No,
team in
no.
the league. I agree with you. They are the hottest team in the league. The reason I'm putting them at 7 is based on the schedule that they've played this year. The teams that they beat.
Hey, you can only fucking beat who's
I
in front of you, Birdie.
that. I know that, but
So right now,
yes,
yes, you have the Patriots at 7.
that is correct.
Oh my God! Please don't tell me we're doing a fucking podcast in New England with these two guys. Oh
Listen,
my
they beat the Pats. I mean, they beat the Pats. They beat the Bills. They
Mike,
go
that
way
game
higher
against
up for
Tennessee.
me.
They had Tennessee was a decimated team coming into that game. I give them props. They did.
Who hasn't lost to a decimated team this year?
Not like Tennessee was this year. Tennessee's completely lost like 7, 8
Are you crazy? Are
starters
you
out of their
watching?
lineup. Julio Jones, Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown, 2 or 3 starting linebackers. You're starting nose tackle. I mean, come on. I mean, you're playing with a practice squad running back.
Birdie,
and a third
come on! They
string
won
running back.
6 games in a row. They're the
I-
talk of the
I-
NFL.
and
People are talking about getting the
they
Super
are
Bowl.
the
I've been
hottest
telling you that they're going to the Super Bowl.
well,
okay, and
They're the
you
hottest
got them
team
at
in the
7.
league. I got them at 7.
I think that's crazy. You two colluded on that.
No, he did not.
I
talked to him all week.
No, mine were Bills / Patriots. Whatever wins that one, they go for the.
I don't
So you
even
might not even have them in the top 7.
I don't have Buffalo in the top 7,
not if-
Mike, right now.
I think if they
I don't
lose to
have
Buffalo,
in
that's a
there,
huge
so
loss.
Tyler, you started this year talking about the
I know,
Patriots.
that's fine.
Well,
Yes,
why
but
are
I'm
we going backwards?
I still have them. I didn't like what I seen in the beginning of the year. I'm saying I don't think they've played any crazy teams in the playoff teams that they've played. They've lost to, and even the Titans, I don't think it's a great team. With like Birdie said,
had all the
they had
starters,
three
they would
total wide receivers on that team yesterday. So you're giving yourself a pretty much big handicap. But it is, you can only beat the teams that are in front of you, and they are the hottest team in the NFL.
I'm not questioning
But
it.
if they beat the Bills, they will go to 3 or 4
Yes,
or 2 for
that's
me.
correct.
But it's just I want to see them beat a legit team that I think is really, really well. That's the only thing.
Okay, we gotta get a clip of that. Get the timestamp on that. Number 6, I have Indy.
You know, I don't even have Indy in my top.
Oh,
top
Me too.
God.
Me too.
I got the San Francisco 49ers.
At 6,
got
I have
number 6.
the Los Angeles Rams. That's what I got at number
Has the
6.
Rams?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, at 5, I got the Buffalo Bills.
See, I don't even put Buffalo in the top 7. I put the Ravens in there.
Who
right
the
now.
fuck is in your top 7 anyway?
Baltimore Ravens. I moved them up to 5.
At number 5,
So you got the
I think
Ravens better than the Bills and the Patriots.
Right now, yes.
the Ravens are the number
And
1
you
team in
watched that
AFC.
game last night.
Yeah, I know they looked bad last night, but Buffalo's looked bad on
Number
occasion
5,
this
I have the Chiefs.
Number 5, you got the Chiefs.
Yes.
I don't even have the Chiefs in mind. I fucked up bad.
Yeah. See, it's tough.
Well, it's 6 or 1, half a dozen of it. You got to realize.
I gotta
what you're putting on there.
I gotta replace Buffalo with the Chiefs.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I gotta replace it. That is an egregious mistake. And then I guess I would bang San Francisco and put Buffalo at 7.
So number 4.
Number 4, I have Arizona.
I have the Chiefs. I'm going to actually
Yeah.
slide Tampa Bay up. I had them 4th last week. I'm putting Kansas City down. I'm putting Kansas City at 4 this week.
At 4, I have the Baltimore Ravens with the number one record in the AFC.
Oh, we gotta save these fucking things.
This is
Number
what-
3, I got the Green Bay Packers.
I have Tampa Bay at number 3. I slid them up 1 spot from last week. After that,
Number 3, I also have Tampa Bay. I also have Tampa Bay.
Guys, I got the Green Bay Packers. So you got Tampa.
Yeah, we both got Tampa at number
I
3.
moved them up 1 spot.
And number 2, the number 2 best team in the National Football League is the New England Patriots. My guys are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't know what's going on with these guys. I haven't been spending a lot of time with them. I think we've been starting to start hanging out more. The Patriots, the hottest team in football. They're
are
on a
the
roll.
hottest team.
Like my friend Birdie used to say, bet the trend. I'm betting the 6-win straight trend that the Pats are on. Pats are the second best team in football, and Tampa Bay's number 1, and that's why they're going to play the Super Bowl, Jack.
Okay.
Put your cash on it. Go to St. Anne's and do what, Birdie?
Take out your
Put the
mortgage.
mortgage on it. Tampa Bay and the Pats in the Super Bowl.
I got Arizona at 2.
Oh, we have
They
the
were on the bye week.
I think we have the same 2-1. I have Arizona at 2,
go
and then
for it.
and then the
Go
Packers
for
at
it.
number 1, right?
Mike, you'll feel a little bit better tomorrow when Jimmy's here when he gives you his power rankings.
Oh yeah, and then Jimmy's gonna be like, at number 1, I have the Patriots. Number 2, I have the New England Patriots. Number 3, I have the 2017 New England Patriots, and at number 4, I have the 2015 New England Patriots.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
what Jimmy's
right.
gonna say.
And Sporting, don't forget.
Yes, Sport is a good
Are we
thing.
ready for some trivia?
I am ready for this trivia.
All right.
Because Birdie said he gave me a chance.
No,
this week.
last segment here, Riley was completely boxed out of the trivia, so we had to switch it around.
Yeah.
The theme of this trivia today is how well do you know your favorite team?
Ooh, I
And
like this one.
You are a diehard Boston Celtics fan. From
yeah,
we're
well,
going to
I'll
say
play
the
the Celtics
Celtics are
game.
your
Yeah,
team.
sure.
We know what your team is. So.
Yeah. Well, we're going with the
All right.
Broncos, or we're going to
the first segment we'll start off with Riley because this is a little bit more detailed than.
Okay, how well do you know your favorite
How
team?
well do you know your favorite team?
This could-
On
it depends.
February 7th, 2016.
Okay.
Where were you on that historic day?
February 7th, 2016. I believe that was the AFC Championship game with the Patriots.
That is incorrect.
That's incorrect.
That was a Super Bowl championship
Okay,
for the
okay.
Denver Broncos.
I thought that
Okay.
was in March. That's why.
In front of me now, I have a roster of the 22 players.
Okay, that's not that hard.
on the
I
Denver
think I can
Broncos.
get. I'm not joking to
Go
you.
for it.
I think I can get almost all of them except
hold
the
on.
offensive line, and I can get a few of those.
Slow the roll down here. The starters. Okay.
Okay, ready? Peyton Manning, get that one off the list.
Hey, hang on. All right.
Demarius
okay.
Thomas off the list.
Bang it out, Rob.
Emmanuel Sanders off the list.
Yeah.
Bang it out,
C.J. Anderson off the list.
Correct.
Owen Daniels off the list.
Correct.
Von Miller off the list.
Hang on. That's defense.
Yes,
We're
yes.
Gonna go. We're going.
Oh, offense.
to
Okay, so
defense
Matt
first.
Paradis, was he on there?
That's correct.
Okay.
Who was the other tight end besides Daniels? That's
Vernon Davis.
Vernon Davis.
Off
That's
the list.
correct.
Trust me, I got this.
All we're missing now is the other 4 offensive.
I told you, the
linemen.
offensive lineman is going to be tough. I said Matt Paradis.
That's
Who
correct.
was he the guard?
I don't
the center.
have. I don't have.
Okay, he might have
position
been the center.
listed.
That is my college roommate.
The one,
Position
one with the Broncos?
listed.
Yeah, my college
You're
roommate.
4 away from a perfect score on your
Oh
offense.
my God! Hold on.
But we're talking offensive
Orlando
linemen.
Franklin?
No,
No. Okay.
Is Tom Neal in the center there?
No.
that was a previous Super Bowl. That wasn't
No.
this one.
All right.
Damn, the offensive lineman's getting me.
One of these guys was a rookie.
This is
I don't have
He's
the-
not even on the team no more.
I don't
'Cause
think
he's
any of these guys.
No, because there's only one guy on the team left, and it's Brandon McManus. He's the kicker. All right, offensive lineman. I don't know the rest of them.
Ryan Harris was
Okay.
one. Evan Mathis was.
Should have got that one. Yeah.
Luis Vasquez was.
Oh,
a
I
rookie,
should have got. He was the offensive. He was a guard. Yeah.
And some guy by the name of Mike Schofield.
Okay. Yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
Defense.
You
Defense. I
rolled
got
off
this.
everybody
Defense.
else.
I got this. It's not a question.
Defense, you got to go by position.
Okay.
So
Khalil
let's
Mack.
start off with defensive
Malik Jackson,
line.
defensive line.
That's correct.
Derek Wolf, defensive line.
That's correct.
Outside linebackers will knock off.
No. What about you? Got to get.
Hold on. Let me go off because I'll get the
right,
players I know.
all right.
DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller. Those are
Wait a minute,
linebackers.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I got Von Miller.
DeMarcus Ware.
He's listed as a defensive lineman.
Okay, even better.
DeMarcus Ware.
Perfect. All right, then
Yep.
we got for linebackers Danny Trevathan,
That's correct.
Brandon Marshall.
That's correct.
Corners we got Chris.
No. You got your linebackers. You're
right.
missing one defensive lineman.
Okay, hold on. Corners. This is the easy one. Chris
Right.
Harris Jr.,
That's correct.
Bradley Roby if he's on there.
That's it. That's incorrect.
Okay, so then it's Talib,
That's correct.
and then the safeties are Darian Stewart,
That's correct.
T.J. Ward,
Fire, bro.
That's
Fire.
unbelievable. You're
T.J.
missing-
Ward,
missing one
and then
player
one
on the
defensive lineman. Hold on.
Undefeated.
Hold on, I got one
undisputed,
defensive lineman left.
Under 21 sports talk champ. You know
One
who
defensive
he
lineman.
is,
So it's
Jack.
Malik Jackson. I know it's Malik Jackson. I know it's Derek Wolf.
Yeah, those guys. You've already
DeMarcus
named.
Ware. Yeah.
Yep.
Hold on. I'm trying to go through my head. God, this is gonna bug me.
This is tricky. This is tricky, though. I'm going to tell you why after I give you the answer.
DeMarcus Ware. Damn. What's his first name start with?
S.
S.
Yeah. I never heard of these but
Oh my God. What's his last name
tough
start with?
question.
What's his
W.
Sylvester Williams.
Bingo.
There it is. Okay, I got that one. So that's
How
what?
many did he name out of 22 starters?
-4,
I think
so
he got
18.
like 19, 20. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
there was one guy on here, though, that I got educated on. The guy that plays for Tampa Bay, the outside Shaq
Yeah,
Barrett.
Shaq Barrett. He was the backup
a
running
rookie
back.
on
Yes.
that team. I didn't
So
I
he
didn't
was.
know
That's
that.
the thing with him. He was not that great for the Broncos because we had so many good pass rushers. And Shane Ray was also on that team, by the way. I can keep going. Shanton Keogh,
Yeah, I didn't put all the names
Jordan
on
Norwood
there.
was the punt returner. The punter was Bretton Colquitt.
Okay,
the kicker
who-
was Brandon
Who were
McManus.
the other two running backs?
Okay, so the other one is. All right, so we got C.J. Anderson.
Yep.
Oh, damn. I know one. Ronnie Hillman.
That's correct.
And then also one more running back. Ronnie Hillman, C.J. Anderson.
I never heard of these
And
guys.
is it Andy Yanovich, if they counted him?
Some guy
He's a
named
fullback.
Juwan Thompson.
Okay, Juwan Thompson. Yeah, but Andy Yanovich was the
And
fullback.
who are the other two quarterbacks?
Brock Osweiler and Trevor Siemian.
Wow, this kid's off the shots today,
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
right,
That one I wasn't
He's
missing
off
out.
the fucking shots every day.
That one I
Well, the
wasn't
last
missing.
time we did the trivia, it was way before his time.
I guess
so
I
he
know. I
wasn't.
hear you. Go ahead. It's all good.
All right, now we'll give you the Hurricane a shot here.
All right, go ahead.
2008 Boston Celtics. And last time they won a championship, I got the
This is a
roster
good one.
in front of me.
Yeah.
How many players from that roster can you name?
I'm gonna name Kendrick Perkins.
That's correct.
Okay. I'm gonna name Tony Allen.
That's correct.
I like the way you're doing this.
I'm gonna call Eddie House.
That's correct.
PJ Brown.
Wow, you're going with some of the obscure
Why are you
guys.
surprised?
Because
homie?
those aren't really the starters that you're going with
We're going with
first.
Big Baby.
Glenn Davis is
Yep.
correct.
We're going with. All right, now let me do the starters. Paul Pierce,
That is correct.
Ray Allen,
Obviously, that is correct.
Kevin Garnett.
That is correct. You haven't gotten an X yet.
Who
Now it gets a little harder.
am I missing from the starters?
You got one of the starters.
No, you're missing one star.
One starter, but you got one in Perkins was one of the starters.
Yeah, Perkins. And Tony Allen was a starter. Sam Cassell was on that team.
Bingo, but I don't know if he was a starter.
No, nope, you're missing
No.
one starter at the one.
Who's the point guard?
Yeah, that's the guy you're missing too. That's
You
correct.
got this. I know you do.
It's easy.
All right,
Once you
hold
said,
on. How many guys do I
you've
got
named
left?
off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 already out of 10, 11, 12, 13. 9 out of 15 so far.
And one of them, you
NBA roster is not 15 people, Jack.
No, but these guys might have been partial season, some of them, you know what I'm saying?
All right. Point guard was Rondo.
there you go. Yep.
Okay, now the bench.
You got almost all of them.
Nate Robinson.
No.
What?
That was a
Not on
year
that
after, I
team.
think. A couple years after when Shaq came as well.
Not on that team. There's only one more guy, two guys I've really heard of on here that you should be able to get. One of these guys played at Kansas, maybe, I believe. I could be wrong.
Paget?
No.
Kansas.
Oh, I'm gonna give you a hint on one of them.
Close.
He does commentary for one of them. He does commentary right now. for the
That's
Celtics.
correct.
The White Mamba.
Yep.
Scalabrini.
There you go.
Scalabrini, yeah.
That's
okay.
correct.
I
There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 more names left on here.
hold on. Scalabrini.
You guys crushed this today, man.
No, of course, yeah. That's why we're the BadCatz, motherfucker. We ain't the whack cats. We're the BadCatz. Who else? No, I'm gonna get this, Birdie.
Oh, I can't. I don't really know the hints. I can only think of the school that. This one other guy played on a different championship team with the Heat. Also, I believe was around the league. You mentioned him.
Eddie House.
No, because you already named House. You mentioned this guy the last time you thought he was on the Cavalier roster, but he wasn't.
James Jones.
That's close, but that's not him. There's some guy on here by the name of Gabe Pruitt too. I never heard of.
Yeah.
Whoever that guy.
Yeah. There's 13 guys on an active roster.
But out of the next 3 guys here, you know these 3 guys.
All right, so give me a clue.
I don't know what the clue would be.
Give me the
Initials.
JP. SP. LP.
All the
fuck is
P's.
going on?
All the P's. JP, SP, LP.
JP would be.
That's a tough one.
Give me another clue, Birdie.
I don't know how I can think of another
Tell me
clue.
a college that they went to.
I think one of these guys went to Kansas. SP.
Scott Paget.
Scott Pollard.
Fuck, that's the same
Pollard.
one. Yeah, all right.
This other guy I don't know anything about. And this one guy played on another championship team. I think he was with Miami when they won it. With House.
Which one was that?
JP.
JP with Miami.
Maybe Miami. I'm not sure, 100% sure. You know exactly. As soon as I say this, you're going to go, how the fuck did I not think of him?
James.
You got the first name.
Fuck, I know what's right in front of me.
And for the $1 million question is
James
left-hander, I believe.
Posey.
Bingo!
My brother was drafted with James Posey. How the fuck did I fuck
And the
that
last
up?
guy on the list was
Posey
a guy,
was a good
was a
design
guy
pick
by
of
the
the-
name of
Leon
Leon
Poe.
Poe.
Leon Poe from Cal. I might have got that.
You guys, for this trivia, you guys absolutely crushed it this time. Next
I
time,
like that
it
one.
will not be as easy.
That's not an easy one though.
No, it wasn't. But you know the Broncos.
I
won.
should have had
Yeah, I know.
James
God, 9 out of
Posey.
10.
Hold on. James Posey was the 17th pick of the draft year. My brother got drafted by the Nuggets, and my brother was the second round of the first pick of the second round, and that's why I should have known Posey. And I know Leon Poe because he's
that's
from
how
the
the
Bay Area
BadCatz
where my
do
brother
it.
was playing.
We both got like 80%
crushed
pretty
that
much.
trivia.
90%.
No, you got me a little bit. You got me. You got
No,
me.
because mine's
off 9 out of the
yeah,
first,
but exactly.
like
If you dumb down my numbers, like if you make them the smallest they can get, it's almost the same as yours because you didn't have such a big roster as I did. You know what I mean? Like I got more numbers, but compared to the number, like I had to get 22. I think I got 18, and you got like 9 out of 13. So it was almost pretty much the same. We killed it.
Okay, tell me the team right now that's going to shock the shit out of it. Riley's saying the Rams.
out of the
I don't think that's a
NFL,
shock
you know?
though.
Tell us the team that's going to. They got 1 foot in the grave, cousin.
Okay, that's a shock then. That's my shock right there. The Rams are still making the Rams are still making the Super Bowl.
All right, Super Bowl.
Yep.
Oh my God! So you got.
Listen, I'll be happy if I'm wrong. 'Cause,
Rodgers, so they're going to beat your boy the Packers. They're going to beat your boy Aaron Rodgers.
hey, it's hard to beat a team.
Some
It's hard to
Some
beat a
teams
team
don't
twice.
Match up. Green
hard-
Bay
it's hard to
doesn't
beat a team
match up
twice.
With
You think you think they you think they go to Lambeau Field at fucking 10 below?
They don't
and
match
you
up
think they're
with
gonna win
them.
that game?
Tampa doesn't match up with the Rams. Green Bay doesn't match up with Tampa. So it's styles when it comes down to
You're right. It'll be matchups. That's
and
what they said
hopefully,
tonight.
and injuries don't play a factor in this because you had 3 guys go
And
down.
when in doubt, Phelps, when in doubt, when you can't make sense of all of it,
Bet
you
Michigan.
can always do the sure thing.
Bet
You
Michigan.
can bet on Tom fucking Brady. And he went to school where?
Michigan. Yeah.
Michigan. There you go. Okay. Tom Brady, Super Bowl again, Michigan national champs. Book it. Call Kerry Rivers, St. Anne's Mortgage.
And
Bet the
a
whole
shout out to
on it.
Mikey Gudrow's got his fight coming
That's
up this
right,
week. We
that's
wish him good luck down in Louisiana and the Nationals coming up, I
wanna
believe,
stream that.
Saturday. I don't know. I'll look into it, but I don't know if it's going to be shown or not. But we wish him the best of luck down there, going down to Louisiana that we did the fundraiser on a couple of months ago.
And let's not forget, tonight, we can't call them Redskins.
Yeah, I'm still calling them Redskins. so-
Are we gonna have like
Go Redskins tonight.
Are we gonna have the National Organization of Women, Peter?
We might. I hope we don't get
political
censored
correctness, cancel
because
culture.
the show doesn't get censored because we use
Listen.
that word.
I never thought I'd say it, but go Skins.
One more thing. Tomorrow night, the Revolution play in the semifinal game. So if they win that, they will be in the finals of their conference. So that is big because they are the number 1 team in the MLS. They've had the best MLS record of all time. They had the best season of
Are you
any
going?
team in
Are you
MLS.
going?
I'm not going, but I'm going to be watching. And it's gonna. I believe they should win. They should win this game, and they should at least make the finals.
What will their attendance be?
Very high because their attendance for this year has been really high in the 20s, I believe. Some of the games got to the 20,000.
But that looks empty in that big
It does
stadium.
because you can't do nothing about Gillette. That's huge, and Patriots sell it out like this. But they're not the Patriots, and they never will be. But they need to get their own stadium
They know,
at
they're
a smaller
Right there,
size.
Weaver's Cove. Weaver's Cove. Bob Kraft, Weaver's Cove. Contaminated. He can fix that. Get it done. Soccer stadium right in the heart of soccer in southeastern Massachusetts. It would be bananas. Get it done. Sharice for everybody. Peace.